Hello again, whiskey friends. Thanks for joining. I'm Durell, the Whiskey Saint, and we are back for another blind battle. So, this battle was actually requested by a friend of mine. We actually dived into one of the bottles last week, and we were talking about, the regular offering, the barrel strength. So, guys, what we're going to be diving into today is Old Forester 150th. This is batch 2, and we're going to be putting it up a light proof pick, which was one of my favorites out of my local store, Yankee Spirits, over here. Proof point on the 150th, 126.4. Proof point on the single barrel, 125.2. Stay tuned, guys. We're going to kick the show off, dive into both of these blind, and see which one I choose. Cheers. Welcome back, guys. So this one's going to be fun. I haven't touched these bottles, well, besides the 150th last week. That was the first time in probably almost a year, to be honest. So pretty anxious to see how these go. 150th, I think retail was like $150 or $160. When you're looking at retail on these regular single barrels here, they're usually around like $79 for me here. So it's almost twice as much for the 150th. So does that really make the quality that much better? That's what we're here to find out. So what we're going to do is pour up the 150th into glass labeled A. I'm not sure if it's picking it up. There you go. And we're going to mix these around a bit and see which one comes up on top. And going into glass labeled B, we have a regular single barrel. And the levels are pretty identical, colors identical. So we're just going to mix them up, guys, for about 10 seconds or so. Then we'll get into the nose and the palate on both and see which one we think is better. Is that 150th that much better? I'm curious to find out. All right. On to the nose on the first one. This almost comes across slightly muted, which is odd. Like I'm not really picking up too much. Just your standard. Get a decent amount of oak. Some vanilla there. It is a little ethanol forward on the nose. Like a slight punch on the nose, but it's not like overtaken. Get like this bright note, almost like a floral note. But yeah, just a bit of ethanol, some oak, vanilla, a little bit of floral, maybe slash citrusness. I'm not sure what that bright note is. And I get like a sour note, like a tartness almost at the back end of it. All right. Let's go on to the next one. All right, so this one's a little bit more rich, more dark, more classic bourbon, if that makes any sense. So those caramels, those vanillas, that nice oak presence, that's what I'm getting more on this sample here. Yeah, it just comes across a little bit more just put together and balanced for me. I'm going to go back to the other one really quick. Yeah, this one's just a little bit more punchy on the nose and just, I don't want to say unbalanced because I remember liking both of these a lot. but nose in this glass here just seems like the whiskey's put together a little bit more than what's in this glass. Let's go in for a taste, guys. Cheers. So upon first sip, there's a youthful note there. It just doesn't seem like this whiskey, is aged longer than, God, it doesn't really seem like it's over 5 years. I'm curious to see if this one comes across a little older. I believe they did use older stock in the 150th, but off of the nose and the palate, just initial thoughts, I'm thinking the first glass is the standard Old Forester single barrel strength. Could be wrong, haven't dived into the second one yet on the palate, but let's take one more sip of this. Second sip's a little better. It's a little astringent though on the palate. Like the flavor's sitting there, but it kind of dissipates pretty quickly, and it's just like it almost comes across just one dimensional. And you get a little bit of spice. I still get like that tartness, like a slight tangy note right at the back of the palate on this, which I'm not sure how I feel about it right now, which is funny because, like I said, I really loved both of these bottles. All right, let's just take a quick little rinse out, and we'll dive into the second one. See how that compares. No, first sip after that water is probably going to be slightly watered down, so we'll take a couple more sips after that, guys, and we'll just dive into it and see how it goes. Yeah, the nose on this is just so much better. Oh, yeah, comes across older, more oaky, more rich, more dark. Just balanced. Like there's none of that like tartness or sour note. It doesn't really come across young. I know they're not age stated, but this I would think is like at least a 10-year product from what I'm getting on the nose. Really, really nice nose. What's going on the palate? So even on first sip, with still having a little bit of water probably on my palate, this just came across a lot nicer. I don't want to say smooth. Hate using that word, but I guess you can say balance. You know, let me try just another sip after that whiskey kind of acclimated my mouth a bit. Get that water out of there and see how the second sip goes. Oh yeah, for me it's night and day between the two, and I hope I really hope this is the 150th, being that it's just that much more balanced and better in my opinion than whatever's in this glass here. But this is the epitome of a barrel strength, right? It's not King of Kentucky by any means. It doesn't have that age statement. I know it's a Brown Forman product, similar profile, but this is just, a couple notches, actually more than a couple notches above this single barrel here. You're going for one more sip. This is really good. Yeah, this is just so much more balanced. Okay, I'm gonna go on one more time on the other one, just to really lock it in. But I'm 99% that Glass B over here or Glass to my right is the winner. yeah, it's put together nice. But when you're comparing this to whatever's in this glass, it's tough. Standalone, this tastes really good. It's like a nice spicy cherry cola, but it does come across a little youthful. As to this one here, just being just dark, rich, almost everything you want in a bourbon right out of Brown Foreman. It's just caramel rich, dark, the flavors, the vanilla, the oak, everything on this is just fantastic. Oh, yeah, that nose. Yeah, so nose and palate for me. Glass on my right. We're going to see which is which. So glass A, guys, is the Old Forester 150th. Glass B is the regular single barrel. So we will reveal what didn't win, and obviously we'll know what won from there. So in my glass, wow, that's pretty crazy. So guys, I still got some whiskey in there, but glass A was the one that came across really young and unbalanced versus glass B being the single barrel. Holy crap, I wasn't expecting that. Wow. Guess there's a reason why I really loved that single barrel when it came out. That's pretty nuts. I wasn't expecting that. Wow. Yeah, dude, there's no denying. No denying. So going off that, guys, as good as the 150th is, I don't think it's worth the price tag. 150, 160 bucks when they came out versus, a $79, $89 single barrel that could be that much better than this bottle. It's not even worth it, in my opinion. I picked it up, obviously blind, not knowing at the time, and it's still good whiskey, but it doesn't warrant that price, right? So it's not bad. Keep that in mind, but not worth the cost of the bottle retail-wise. Never mind secondary, whatever that price is now. Wow, that is insane. I'm a little flabbergasted with that, guys. I definitely wasn't expecting, the single barrel to be that much better. I almost thought immediately from the balance and just how it was constructed that this was actually the 150th versus the single barrel. But yep, I was wrong. And that's the great thing about blinds, right? I might have got it in my head, pouring them not knowing or knowing what they were and maybe picking the 150th over it. Although it would have been hard because this one's just that much better. But, blinds are always the best way to do it, guys. Oh, man. That was a good one. Till next time, we got something else in the works, maybe similar to this. I love these little blind, head-to-heads. Yeah, so stay tuned, guys. Next week, I got another one dropping. Thanks for tuning in. You can follow me at the Whiskey Saint on IG and just continue to follow us here, guys. Cheers.
Jeff, just be friends with me. But you have these whiskey friends, and you say hello again. Oh, Jeffrey, you should just be friends with me. But you have these whiskey friends, and you say hello again. Oh, Jeffrey, you should just be friends with me. But you have these